So last week we talked about your Rocio, your mom moving in, and you guys adjusting to that as a family. So for you, Rocio, how has it been since your mom has moved in?
Well, since she's moved in, I've just felt a lot of pressure on me, coming from the needs that my mom has and also the needs that my marriage has, and then just parenting. So it's been quite a week. It's been very stressful, and I've just been trying to learn the best way to cope with everything that's been changing in our house.
Okay. And for you, Jasmine, how has it been since Laura has moved into your home?
Well, I don't feel comfortable in our home anymore, especially because her mom doesn't like me. So I feel like I'm just tiptoeing everywhere, and I can't talk to her about it because that's her mom. That's an important aspect in her life that I just don't want to get myself into.
Right, and cause another problem. Yeah. Okay. And Ingrid, how has it been since your grandma has moved in with you and your family?
I mean, I just feel like there's a lot more arguments now between my moms. And I've noticed, or I felt that my grandma doesn't like me, so I tend to isolate myself from her.
Can you give me an example of what your grandma does to make you feel that way?
She normally just sides along with my mom, and she makes my other mom uncomfortable, so they tend to argue more.
Okay.
So due to a lot of arguing and them not getting along, I go to my room, and I'm there majority of the time.
How do you guys react to Ingrid's comment?
It makes me sad, honestly, to hear her like withdrawing from just our regular day life. I just feel kind of sad, but again, I'm caught in the middle. I have a responsibility to my mother. I love my mother, and it's our culture that we care for our parents, as they're aging or as they have health concerns. And but I also have a responsibility to my wife and to my child. But so it makes me kind of sad that she's noticing these things in our marriage and just in our home life.
So you're feeling caught between two different areas, your mom versus your family.
Definitely, yes.
Okay. And for you, Jasmine, how do you feel that your daughter feels this way?
Well, it hurts my feelings because we used to be a team. We used to always spend time together. We had Friday night movie night, and now it's like it hurts my feelings that she has to now go to her room because even she doesn't feel comfortable. She says that she sees us fighting and arguing, and the fact that I can't really do much about it. It's like I just isolate at this point.
So you mentioned the movies. Is that a routine that you all as a family had before Laura came into your home?
Yeah, we used to do that all the time, and that was like our bonding time. That we were all able to talk to each other about the day and how we're doing. But ever since her mom came along, that sense of respect, I don't feel that. And the fact that she's under our roof, I get it, that's her mom and she loves her, but the fact that she can't respect me and she can't respect what we have and see that we have a child now, it's really affecting our marriage and it's affecting the family.
And Rocio, how do you respond to Jasmine's feelings towards that activity that you used to do?
I mean, I get it. I get, her side, and I see that it's frustrating to her. And I loved doing family movie night with my daughter and my wife, and that was great. We bonded, we talked, it was great. But now I can't leave my mom at home by herself. She needs medical attention. She needs me to be there for her. What if something happens? I can't leave. And I get her frustration, and I get I'm just in the middle. I'm confused. I don't know. I want to be there for my mom and I want to be there for my wife, but I don't think she really gets it. I mean, her parents are totally fine with us being a couple because her parents are liberal and they're okay with that. They're fine. They're fine. but culturally, my mom, this is what she grew up, this is her culture, this is her religion. So it's gonna take her some time for her to understand our relationship, and I think she just needs to be more patient.
Of course.
My wife needs
Yeah.
to be more patient.
Well, I've been patient, and I think it's time for her to just suck it up and deal with it. Times have changed.
Okay.
We've been together for 5 years.
Mhm.
I think that's more than enough time to get situated and adjusted. And she knew coming into living with us that this is how it was gonna be.
Mhm.
So the fact that she can't respect that, well, I can't give her any respect myself.
Right.
I just don't feel comfortable talking to her about it, and I, at this point, just want to disengage from everything.
Of course. Yeah. It's tough. It sounds like it's been a difficult situation. For you, Ingrid, movie night, was that something special for you?
Yeah, because I would have my moms together, and it was like a day at the end of the week that we could gather and just like speak on how everything was going. And I also want to mention that they both failed to mention that we would always eat dinner together, and we haven't done that in a really long
Okay.
time since my grandma came to live with us.
Right.
And I just felt like that was something that we needed in order to gather with one another. And now whenever my grandma comes to the table, I go to my room and I eat there.
Okay, so you're feeling a sense of you need to isolate in order to feel respected.
Yeah, because I know my grandma doesn't like me.
Okay, okay. Well, let's review last week's homework. The homework was, you, Rocio, and you, Jasmine, had to, when you guys communicated, you had to use the I feel statements. How has that been good? How has that been bad? How's that worked for you both?
I think overall it has helped a little bit. I'm able to communicate just a little bit better, and I feel like she's communicated better with me as well. But I don't think it has really like stopped our arguing, like we're still arguing. It just has helped a little bit, I think.
Yeah, to my side, it doesn't lead anywhere because I've said it plenty of times how I feel all the time, and it's just exhausting to have to repeat myself, so that's why I don't say anything.
Okay, okay. Is there anything you guys want to share before we let Laura in? Anything? Okay. Laura, can you please come in?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Laura. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. How are you adjusting to moving in with your daughter and her family?
It's not good. It's not good. I'll be honest, it's not what I envisioned for my daughter. The situation's supposed to be a man and a woman, get married, have children, and that's not the situation here. So how do they expect me to be okay? So I'm not doing good here in the house.
Okay. Rocio, what do you want to comment on how your mom feels?
I respect you, Mom, and I love you, but this is my relationship, and I've been married now for 5 years, and I need you to work with me. I need some leeway so that we can just try to be together as much as we can.
And you, Jasmine, how do you feel on what Laura has said?
It's just the same thing over and over again. The fact that she can't just accept what we have and see that we are happy.
Mhm.
But now that she's come to live with us, it's affecting our relationship. And she needs to understand that the fact that she can't accept us and to even show love for her granddaughter, it's just upsetting.
Okay.
I don't even want to, I don't even like talking to her sometimes.
You feel there's no respect, so why
Why even bother?
Okay. How do you respond to Jasmine's feelings?
There's just, I see my daughter, she goes out, she works, and had she married a man, she wouldn't have to work, she could be at home. But instead, this other person is at home and I see my daughter struggle and I feel bad, and that's our tradition, it's our culture.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to explain this to our family? How am I supposed to tell everybody about
But
what's
it
going
doesn't
on?
matter, as long as you love someone, doesn't matter, as long as they're happy. And I don't get why she can't just accept that for what it is.
Yeah, you don't feel respected, right? Is there something that Jasmine did to you personally that makes you feel this way?
She doesn't help my daughter as much as she should.
Okay. Rocio, do you think Jasmine doesn't help you as much?
You know, I wish Jasmine would help me carry the load a little bit more with my mother. There's some times that I have other things to do and I'm afraid to step out of the house because I don't feel like Jasmine is gonna care for my mother the way I will. So that stops me from doing things that I need to get done or things that I wanna do. And I just think that Jasmine doesn't really even wanna help me. So that makes me feel a little hurt that she's not willing to help me with caring for my mother and just with more things.
Ingrid, how do you feel that grandma has now come to live with you and your moms?
I kind of feel the way that my mom was also feeling. I feel like my mom is not paying a lot of attention to me anymore either. Like, it just all surrounds my grandma. And it just hurts even more because I don't feel like my grandma likes me, due to the fact that I'm not blood and I'm adopted. And then also connecting with my grandma and the arguments that my moms have now, it makes me sad because I don't see them smile or like come into agreement as much as they used to.
Okay. Has there been a special moment when between you and your grandma that you can remember?
No.
No?
She doesn't really talk to me, and I feel sometimes when there is a conversation coming, it's not necessarily positive, which makes me not want to reach out to her.
Okay. Laura, how do you feel about what your granddaughter has just shared with us?
It's hard because I pictured Rocio's life different. I was seeing her pregnant, I was seeing her, the baby in her arms just growing all this time, and now I don't have that. She's already a young girl. This is where we have to start, and it's hard. It's hard for me to know where to go.
Rocio, do you have anything to comment about what your mom has just shared about, not having a baby that's blood?
It really hurts me to hear my mom say those words because although Ingrid isn't our blood, she is still my daughter, and I would expect my mom to treat her just as well as if I did have a child of my own, because Ingrid is my child, whether she has my blood or not. So I feel a little bit hurt with my mom telling me this right now.
Okay. And for Jasmine, how do you feel?
It hurts my feelings that she can't accept our child as her granddaughter. I can see her points in the whole culture, like growing up believing these aspects, but at the same time, if you want to have a relationship with your daughter, then you have to start by accepting who she is, accepting her family, and then moving forward.
I think that that's important, to be able to live as a family together, and these barriers seem to not help you all with that. Yeah. So Ingrid, I remember you mentioning that dinner time, but that no longer was as it was before when grandma came to live with you. So what do you do for dinner now? How does your family do dinner?
So sometimes if I'm like the first person to get there, I'll sit down and I'll wait for whoever's coming in the kitchen. But if I see my grandma coming in, like I'll grab like the plate I already have and I'll go to my room.
Okay. Is there like an assumption that she's gonna be mean to you?
Sometimes, just because, as I mentioned, not a lot of the stuff that comes out of her mouth, like pertaining to me, is positive. So I kinda just don't wanna risk it. Any like arguments or any like rude comments being said towards me or like even towards my mom.
Okay, okay. For Ingrid and Jasmine, when I say this statement, how do you guys respond? When Rocio takes care of her mom, I feel. You wanna start, Jasmine? Neglected. Okay. How do you feel, Ingrid?
I also feel neglected and I feel like we're not being treated as we used to.
Okay. By your mom? Okay. How does she treat you differently? Just neglecting you?
I feel like maybe the attention that she used to give me, like a mother should be giving their child, is now the attention that she's giving to grandma.
Okay. Okay. And Rocio, how do you respond to your wife and your daughter's feelings?
I am doing the best that I can, and I am now stuck in between these two things. I love and have to care for my mother. I love my wife and I love my daughter. So I am just feeling stuck. I'm feeling stuck in the middle. I don't know what to do. I mean, it hurts me to hear my daughter and my wife say that they feel neglected because I'm now caring for my mother. But I also have to care for my mother. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Laura, how do you feel about Jasmine's feelings and also your granddaughters?
Well, I mean, I do feel bad. I do see that they love my daughter, and you know, I'm sorry that this is the way things are right now. I've been trying to help too. I've been the one cooking. That's what they're eating,
Oh,
and so I'm trying to alleviate some of her burden.
yeah. Do you guys like Laura's cooking?
Yeah, awesome.
Are you okay?
Daughter, maybe step out and have a drink of water.
How are you guys feel? I'm sorry. So do you guys like her cooking?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's something that my mother really takes pride in, cooking for us, for our family, and she taught me when I was a young girl, and Mom, I hope that we one day can teach our daughter, my daughter Ingrid, to cook as well.
Yeah, it's a nice tradition. Yeah,
I'm open to it.
yeah. Do you think you can teach Jasmine?
I mean, if she's there.
Jasmine, would you be willing to work with Laura and doing something together?
As long as she gives me the respect I deserve, then yeah, I'd be open to it.
Okay, okay. Ingrid, how would you feel cooking with your grandma if she was willing to teach you?
I believe at first it would probably be difficult to get used to it, but if it would bring unity between all of us, I believe I would be up for it.
Okay, okay. Anything else you guys like to share?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, for this week's homework, how about we try, if you guys are willing to try, for the week, you know, one day, having dinner as a family, you know, because I know that that is important in a family, of course, you know. Ingrid, would you be willing to do that?
If I had my moms with me, then I would consider it.
Good. Would you all be willing to do that? Jasmine, how do you feel about doing that?
I think that is a good idea.
Okay.
As long as we can start somewhere, I'm happy. I'm not here to be mean or disrespectful, but I feel like I have to stand my ground.
Right.
And if we can start somewhere, then I'll be accepting to help with some of the workload and start to learn new traditions with our family.
Good. Rocio, does that sound like a fun thing to do?
Yeah,
with your
it sounds
family?
amazing. I'm really grateful for you ladies, willing to try that and just, helping me out with caring for my mother and just working with me. So I appreciate you and I love you girls.
For you, Laura? would you be willing to have dinner with your granddaughter and both Rocio and Jasmine?
I would do it for my daughter.
Okay, well, we'll try it for one time a week, and we'll see, how it is, and you can tell me all about it in the next session. Okay? Alright, I'll walk you all out.
Thank you. Honey, are you okay?